Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Global news reports that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) has arrested more than 800 individuals using information provided by the Transportation Security Administration (TSA) since the beginning of the Trump administration through February 2026. This figure is significantly higher than previously known. The TSA supplied ICE with over 31,000 traveler records from its secure flight program, originally designed for counterterrorism for immigration enforcement purposes. Democrats have criticized this expanded use, arguing that deploying ICE officers in airports creates confusion and fear. Several cases, including the deportation of an Irish couple in front of their children and the detention of a Chinese woman, highlight the impact of these aggressive tactics. NBC4 Washington reports that the Prince George's County Council has unanimously passed a series of emergency laws aimed at curbing the impact of immigration and customs enforcement (ICE) operations within the county. 4 new bills and 2 resolutions immediately went into effect following a bill signing ceremony held on Tuesday. Key provisions of these new laws include directing Prince George's County Police to respond to immigration enforcement activities to verify the identity and authority of federal agents on the scene. Additionally, the legislation bans immigration officers from wearing masks in most situations and prohibits individuals who join ICE or Customs and Border Protection after October 1, 2025, from working in county government. The council also plans to establish a portal to track ICE detentions within the county. Council members, including Chair Crystal Oriata and Councilwoman Walla Blagay, expressed that these measures are intended to protect the immigrant community, with Oriata stating that ICE and their terrorist tactics have no place in Prince George's County. However, the Fraternal Order of Police has voiced concerns that requiring local officers to intervene in immigration enforcement could lead to conflicts and safety issues for both local and federal personnel. ICE has not yet responded to requests for comment from News 4. Global News reports that community organizations in Montreal's Park Extension District are holding a vigil to honor Manjeet Singh, a 42-year-old unhoused migrant from India who tragically died earlier this year. Singh, who arrived in Canada in 2018 seeking to escape poverty, was evicted from his home in early January and found unresponsive on the street, shortly after being pronounced dead on January 16th. Organizers highlight the lack of emergency shelters and warming centers in the neighborhood, using this tragic event to call for enhanced resources for migrants. The vigil follows a recent investigation launched by the Quebec Coroner's Office into the increasing number of deaths among the city's homeless population. Singh's body was cremated in Montreal last week. CTV News reports that Premier Doug Ford's Ontario government is once again moving to eliminate municipal green building standards and a requirement for local governments to embed climate change goals in their official plans. Municipal Affairs and Housing Minister Rob Flack states that these changes, outlined in a new transit and housing bill, aim to standardize building requirements, accelerate home construction, and make housing more affordable. The government and some development groups argue that a patchwork of local green standards adds complexity and drives up costs. However, critics are strongly opposing the proposed rollback. Halton Regional Councillor Jane Fogel calls it a gut punch, emphasizing that green standards provide better, more efficient, and less costly homes for residents while improving community resilience to climate change impacts like extreme heat and flooding. Former Toronto Mayor David Miller echoed this, warning that cutting corners leads to higher energy bills and expensive retrofits in the future. Experts from the Atmospheric Fund also expressed concern that these changes would boost developer profits at the expense of community well-being and lead to more natural gas infrastructure. The Ontario Association of Architects suggests a carve-out for green standards and calls for an energy step code similar to British Columbia's. This is not the first attempt by the Ford government to modify these standards, with previous efforts leading to contradictory interpretations. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.